Okay, guys, hope you're having a good start to your 3-day weekend. I know I am, but of course, I'm always thinking about you and doing the best that I can as a teacher to help you succeed in math class better. So, this Heart Academy is strictly for the 8th graders as you are finishing up your midterm review on Tuesday. So remember, no school on Monday, finishing the midterm review on Tuesday. And you know I love you very much. So what I have done is created a review of every concept that is on the midterm exam. It is now up to you to decide what you want to do with this. So if you look in the My Lab under topics, you will find a video for each concept and a worksheet that's included with it. The worksheets will be off to the right of the videos. So you can print the worksheet or view it from your own personal device and work along with me to make sure you understand the concepts that you will see. Remember, I also strongly suggest that you put some notes on your cheat sheet. Remember, you cannot put actual problems on your cheat sheet, but you can write plenty of notes on them. I will not be reviewing on Tuesday when you come in. We're going straight to the test, okay? Unless you have a specific question. So if you have a specific question for me, then I will be able to answer that for you. But we are going into the third quarter of our school year. And again, I'm very, very, very happy to be with you this school year. So I hope you guys make the most of this and just remember how much time and dedication I put into doing these videos to help you. I'm expecting the same amount of time and dedication to you, from you to study and make sure you do the best that you can. Because remember, each one of you now represents me, okay? So carry on. And first concept that you see on a test is fraction to decimal. So go ahead and print that worksheet out. And I'm going ahead and get started with answering number 1. 1A. Okay, so I have 15 over 7, and I'm going to change this fraction to a decimal. So remember, fractions mean division. So I'm going to set up a division problem. Again, please excuse my handwriting. Not that very easy to do with a mouse. And this time I'm actually kind of just using my lap. So it's going to be even more complicated to see, but I will try to do my best. The bottom number is always on the outside of the house, is what I like to call it, the house. And the top number is always on the inside of the house. So this is where I'm starting. So I'm going to ask myself, how many times does 7 go into 15? Remember, if you're not sure, don't have your multiplication facts memorized like me, you can always use your multiplication table to help you out, and you are allowed to use this table on the test when it goes up to 30. So what I have here is, I'm going to finally get that out of the way. I'm going to go in my 7 columns and see how many times it'll go 15. Well, 21 is too much, so I'm going to have to settle for 14, and that means 2 times, okay? So 7 goes into 15 2 times. Don't put your 2 here, okay? Put your 2 here. Remember, this is the reason why I like to have a placeholder, so I put a 0. 7 does not go into 1. 7 goes into 15 2 times. I see so many students who will try to put that 2 right here and mess up their entire problem, okay? So now we multiply. 7 times 2 is 14. With a remainder of 1. Okay, so now we need to start adding the zeros because 7 is not going to go into 1. So if you're adding zeros, you are doing decimal form. So what you want to do is add a decimal, add a 0 down here, not up here, down here. Now ask yourself, how many times will 7 go into 10? 7 is only going to go into 10 one time. 1 times 7 is 7. And remember, we subtract. We have 3 left over. Add a 0. 7 will go into 34 times, because 7 times 4, remember, use multiplication chart. I don't have that one memorized. It's 28. 28. Bring down to 2, or 2 remainder, bring down another 0. Remember, you want to keep going to at least get 3 digits after the 0. Since I only have 2 digits after the 0, I'm going to do it one more time. 7 goes into 20. 2 times. 2 times 7 is 14. What's left over? Whoops, there's my chart. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That gives me a 6. Now I could keep going on and adding zeros and come up with a number that's going to go on forever with a non-terminating, non-repeating, therefore irrational decimal. But for these first problems on your midterm exam, you only need about 3 digits. So I'm going to use my answers 2.142. You can keep this first 2 in front of it, or you can just drop it and have a final answer of 2.142. Okay, so answer number 1, 2.142. Go ahead and try 1B on your own. Stop the video. See if you come up with the same answer as I do. I'm now going to try 1B. Okay. Remember, outside number is the denominator. Inside number is the numerator. 11 goes into 8. 11 goes into 8 0 times. 0 times 11 is 0. So therefore, I still have 8. Now I put my decimal. Now I have 80. 11 goes into 80 7 times. 7 times 11 is 77. Subtract 77, 78, 79, 80. Notice you only have 3 left. Add a 0, because remember you have to go up to 3 places, okay? So again, 11 will go into 30 2 times. So that's 22. Should have 8 left over. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Bring down another 0 until I get 3 digits behind this decimal. Remember, this is an 8. So now I have 80. 11 goes into 80 7 times. 11 times 11 is 77. Subtract. You have 3. And if you notice, you're going into a pattern. I would add a 0 and keep going again. But since I have 3 digits under here, I can stop. My pattern would be 72, 72, 72, 72, and eventually like 3 or something like that. So here, my final answer will be 0.727. I hope you got that as your answer too. I'm going to try a few more of these. Okay, so now I have 1 over 18. Remember, denominator is outside of the house. Numerator is the inside. And you know that is not going to work. 18 will not go into 1. 0 times 18 is 0. Bring my 1 down. Add your decimal. The whole point with decimal, guys, and please remember this, especially when you get to the part of the worksheets and your exam about long division, okay? You must have a number in every place value before adding a decimal. Basically, I'll break it down like this. However, how many numbers you have here, you must have that many numbers on top before you add the decimals. Got to use up all those numbers before you add decimals, okay? So notice I have 1 number on the inside of the house. I have 1 number on top. Now I can add my decimal. And now, after adding the decimal, you bring down, you add in a 0, okay? But notice this, 18 will not go into 10. That doesn't mean it automatically add another 0. You gotta have a 0 up here for that place value. 18 goes into 10, no times. It's not a 6, it's a 0. So 0 times 18, 0. And if you notice, I got my 10 again. Now I can bring down another 0. Place value, very important. 18 will go into 100. 5 times, take a look, 18 and 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go, because it's going to be 90. Giving me 10 left over. Bring down a 0. Okay, so now I have, or 90's left over, bring down my 0 here. All right, I'm starting to see a pattern here. So now that I have 3 digits, I'm going to stop, and I think the pattern is going to be 5s for a very long time. And then my final answer will be 0.055, and this whole 5 part is repeating. Okay? Repeating in a pattern means that it is a rational number. Repeating and patterns make sense. Rational numbers make sense. Just a little heads up for the real number system part of your test. All right? I'm now going to try for 2b, 20 on the outside of the house, 62 on the inside. So now I have 20 will go into 62, okay? Remember, you can either look at it 20 goes into 62, or you can be like me and I say 20 will go into 6. I individualize the digits first. Since I know it's not going to go into 6, I still have 62. That 0 is just a hold the place value again. So now I have 20 will go into 62. 20 will go into 62 3 times, at least, right? Well, we'll go in 3 times because 3 times 20 is 60. Remainder 2. Now that I've run out of place value digits, here, remember the goal is to have the same amount of digits on top as you do on the inside. Now that I've run out of places, then add your decimal. There you go. Okay, look at that. 20 will go into itself 1 time. 1 times 20 is 20. And I am done. So this one terminated at 3.1, $3.10, if you will. So my final answer for this one, as it terminated, is 3.1 for answer 2B. Okay? I will try 2 more. And remember, the additional practice can be the rest of the worksheet. I'm going to taking a few of the worksheet problems on each worksheet to help you out. 100 on the outside of the house, 353 on the inside of the house. Okay. Again, if you're following my method, you know 100 is not going to go into 3. I used white ink. Okay, here we go. 100 will go into 3, 0. 100 goes into 35, 0. Now if I look at 100 will go into 353. You know it's going to be 3. Look at that. So 3 times 100, 300. I subtract. You see your 53s left. I have no more digits to match. So then I put my decimal, add a 0. 3 goes into 530. 5 times 100 is 500. Subtract, I have 30 left over. Add another 0. 100 will go into 3, or 300 rather. 3 times 100 is 300. And look at that, I have 0 left over. So this decimal terminated. Terminating and repeating fractions or decimals are rational numbers. Again, just a preview for later on in the exam. So my final answer here, 0.3. I did all kinds of backwards. Sorry about that. So I have, let's try it again, 3.53 for 3A answer. Last one on this review of fractions to decimals. Okay, I have 25 on the outside of the house, 22 on the inside. 25, that's a rough looking 22. Let me do that again. I'm having issues with keeping the color correct, or at least visible. That's all right. Y'all probably used to that to now. 25 will not go into 2. 25 will not go into 22 either. See that? So now what I'm going to do is add the decimal. I add the decimal now because if I lined it up correctly, see I have 2 digits? I have 2 digits. You must have the same amount of digits. So just so you can see what I'm talking about, since I didn't write that one too clearly, I will rewrite it again. Here you go. 25 into 22. 25 goes into 2, 0 times. 25 goes into 22, 0 times. Ran out of place value. So now I can add here. Okay? Meaning I will now do 25 goes into 220. 8 times. 8 times 25. I have 8 times 25. Well, look at that. It's going to be 200. 8 times 25 is 200. 20 left over. And 0. 25 goes into 200.